Well, hello again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are out there in the world. It's time for another episode of the SoundTraxx Soundbites podcast. This is Train Talk from Milepost 141. What was interesting is I was talking to some friends, or not friends necessarily. I was on an industry call the other day, and somebody said, "Yeah, you guys got a podcast now from Milepost 141." And I said, "Oh yeah, you don't know the significance of that, do you?"
So they got the story.
So I had to tell them the story. So Milepost 141, our address is actually 141 Burnett Drive.
Right.
And that's really cool because also our DCC manufacturer ID is 141.
Correct.
Now our old building is at 210 Rock Point Drive, which, as you know, is just around the corner here. But what's interesting about it is that when this property was over and it was addressed 141, we meaning the boss lady and the boss man, automatically bought the property and had it with 141 with the future plans to expand and build in this property. So it's kind of a cool little story. So
yes.
So we actually are talking from, well, I guess street address 141, but right. It's close enough for government work, right?
Right, and if you get a SoundTraxx decoder and read CV8, it'll come up 141, like George said. It's
exactly.
our identifier number, and it's on your decoders, each of them.
Exactly. So, sorry, I didn't mean to jump on, and let's do a quick introduction. Of course, you guys know I'm George Bogatuk. If you haven't been tuned into the channel or watching our YouTube videos, first off, what are you doing? We've got gold content on our YouTube channel and everything.
It's quality stuff here.
Posting videos every week, trying to help demystify some of the things about DCC in general, so that you can better enjoy your hobby.
Right, and apply those things to what you're doing and your daily modeling and operations.
So, got a lot of cool stuff on there. We'll talk about that a little bit, and then to my right or to my left, I guess.
Tom Austin, product support here. Been here since June.
Yeah. Feels like it's been a lot longer than that.
It does. Some days are better than others, but I'm glad to be able to help people on the phone, and I learned stuff along the way myself. So.
Although that's funny, the way I said that sounded like it was a bad thing.
Yeah, right. It can be. I mean,
oh my God, it's been so long. It's just dragging on every day.
Seems like 7 years.
You get that 7-month itch.
Yeah. It's been. I haven't worked a day. It's been a great experience so far. I enjoy every day.
See, some of you guys have heard me say that too. That's not prompted. That's him going completely on his own.
It's great to be able to work in the field, and a passion of mine for years, and then talk to fellow modelers every day and relate to them on the subject of model railroading, DCC, sound. It's great. Yep,
absolutely. Yep. So with that, just got a couple of things here. I want to show you. These are the new products that we've got on our shelf now. We got we talked about it last time, but we've got this nice cooler tumbler thing. Let's see. This thing, from what I understand, I haven't used this yet. I just got mine today.
Yeah.
But I'll replace it. I've got my Bucky's over here still. My Christmas Bucky's. I got to use that while I can.
That's a higher capacity one.
And it's a little bit higher capacity, but we got this stainless steel tumbler. It's got the nice little retractable thing there, and you can show off your SoundTraxx swag. And then for those of you guys who either collect the plushies or you guys follow the story of Nancy, one of the co-owners, her little mutts, the golden retrievers, we got ourselves a little dog plushie here for you too as well.
Sam and Isla.
Yeah, Samantha and Isla.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a neat little addition there. So you can get these. Now these are limited edition things. These are, once they're out, they're out. So be sure to get your orders in for these right now. You can get them at SoundTraxx.com. So with that, let's talk about some projects. You've got another project in the works with us here.
Yeah, I just basically keep stuff on the back burner until it's time to, oh yeah, I forgot about that. This is a Bluford Shops. It's an undecorated. They're rare these days, getting undecks. But this will be no surprise. It's a Missouri Pacific caboose. Goes with the SD40, your project over there. Anyway, this one's going to be your basic Missouri Pacific, bright red or vermilion red
You mean those transfer cabooses?
Yeah, everybody calls them. It's not a transfer caboose. It's actually a full road caboose designed by both Missouri Pacific and International Car. And they built 352 of them, I believe, in the combined workforces of Sedalia and DeSoto. DeSoto built the cars like this as they looked. And they transferred them to Sedalia to, put the furniture in them, the wiring, all that, and they painted them and decaled them, put the decals and stuff on them over there. So I won't be taking mine to Sedalia to finish it, but I'll be doing it here in Colorado. But at any rate, what it'll be is your basic Missouri Pacific short bay window caboose, vermilion red, with all the, and basically you'll have the SoundTraxx SoundCar in it, or I'm thinking about a Blunami 1100. Put it in there just to have the Blunami connection. But in either rate, it's going to have a SoundTraxx decoder in it and lighting and your basic, of course, KD scale 58s instead of those. Those are number 5s. There's nothing wrong with those, but I'm going to put 58s on it.
I'm like you. I like the scale knuckles because that's what you can see here on the SD40.
And it'll have lights. The lights on the the awning lights, the flashing light, the backup light, and then I've thought about these lights here, but
the courtesy lights.
They're going to be tough because the wires are going to be really visible and they're out of scale. So probably not. They'll just probably be on there.
That sounds like a challenge.
Yeah,
challenge you.
It would. It would be challenging. And as George explained, like the roof and stuff, probably have to cut the roof open.
Yeah, that's what.
Here you won't have to with this one, but for a painted one, you'd have to cut the roof open to be able to put something in there. But here, no, you could just take the top off of it and do it that way.
Well, I did forget about that because I did cut the roof out. I got me a Dremel and just went along there and just cut the top of that roof.
I saw it last night. You mentioned that. I thought, I could just cut that out with a Dremel. But anyway,
I forgot about it.
That's what. That's how the painted ones would be put. Because I asked George about the painted ones, and when they have the hand railing and stuff. Like, I don't want to tear it up with it. That's all you're going to do is take it out and go through the roof, and then, like you said, carefully put your wiring down through the base here and into the frame.
I did one. The wires were on each end, and then just came through the sill, and then went through the sill to the middle there.
Yep.
So it's hidden well inside the model, and I've done 2 of them now. But I only put I think I only did the red ones because the kit itself or the model itself comes with a dummy red casting. So all I did was drill that out on the 2 just for the time being.
And and I thought about the same things. You could do that and leave it on there, and then run your wire up and then down like inside the car. And I may do that with this one too. But anyway, it's a very nice kit. It's been out for several years now. It's hard to believe, but they nailed this caboose. Bluford did a great job, and we'd love to see Bluford run them again because they sell out every time they do. But anyway, that's what this will be: a basic Missouri Pacific road caboose from the late 70s, early 80s, and it'll have a SoundTraxx decoder in either SoundCar or Blunami 1100. So I can have I'm thinking Blunami because I might. Even though it's not a SoundCar, I could use it like that with the air brakes and things.
Yeah, you can still do that, and you may not have as much of the air whistle choices as you do, but you can turn off all the other sounds, get the wheel clickety clack, the brake squeal, the and all that stuff,
and the brake line. Yeah, exactly. So I might go with either the electric or it just depends. We have the 1100 in all of sound profiles, so I got a lot to choose from.
Yep, absolutely. So look forward to seeing that project.
Yep.
But we're going to have to light a fire under you because you're bringing in a lot of projects that are in the works.
I keep getting work sent to me in the mail too to work on, so it backs me up. So yes.
Gotcha. Well, today I actually now this is a project that's been pseudo finished for a while. Right. Some of you guys may have tuned in. We talked about the YouTube channel.
Right.
We did a series called Rehab My Loco, and this is where we took a older release Athearn SD40 and just updated it because earlier in the year we were seeing a lot of the tariffs and things like that were inhibiting new models coming in. And so what we did was we had taken an older model that I know I've got them. You obviously have these older projects sitting around.
Yeah. And
said, well, let's just see what it takes. And the Athearn model, this is an Athearn SD40 out of the box, and it's their factory paint. So I didn't even do anything to the paint on it. And they actually did a really good job, but because of years ago, one of the guys at Athearn had told me the line between Genesis and their RTR Ready to Roll had kind of blurred quite a bit. So there were certain things that weren't being added, such as like lift rings along the top, some of the piping and stuff underneath the sill,
right?
Which is not much to do. So we did the Rehab My Loco series where we showed you how to take the locomotives apart, because most diesels come to part very similarly. Whether it's an Athearn Rapido or any other brand out there, they all come together and go together fairly similarly. I mean, there's some minor design differences here and there, but for the most part. And then what we did after that was then we added some details, showed you what it took to add some detail to it, so we could get some, show you, because there's a lot of people that buy a model and they're scared to do anything to it. So we wanted to show you, just what it takes just to add something like lift rings or something like that. And it also inspired us to go to the hobby stores, because without the new models coming in, we were still going to the store to buy something, whether it be detail parts, paint, whether whatever else, and maybe buy some of the stuff that's on the shelf there also.
Right.
And then the third episode, we went and added all the lights. So I had showed you how I added and lit up the number boards on both ends. And this one, the front number boards actually were hollow behind the number board lens, but the back ones you have to drill it out and create your own lens. So I show you step by step how to do all of that. And then episode 4 was putting the decoder in, putting it together and taking it for a test run, and we put Blunami in it, of course.
All right.
And then episode 5, what I'm sorry,
let's say you made your own number board.
I did make my own number board decals,
because we had a lot of folks that asked about that too, both calling in and emailing. They were really interested in that. So I
actually talk about that in the episode.
Yep.
So if you haven't seen the episode, go back and watch episode 3, because I talk about exactly where I got the font for the number boards and how to make it and everything. And then episode 5, which kind of got delayed a little bit, like I was talking about here with some family issues, got delayed. And so episode 5 is literally nothing else but showing you how to do the weathering. And I added those magnetic air hoses and MU cables on the front and rear of the locomotive, just to show you, just to finish it off.
Right.
Because nothing's cooler than when you come up to the locomotives or the freight cars or whatever, and your magnetic lines connect. And then between each of the locomotives, you got the MU cables. Problem is the MU hoses, those 3 or 4 on each side of the pilot, they're so close together, they wouldn't really magnetize outright. So it'd be a difficult one to do. But having at least those 2 between there is great. And I show you how to do it and where to get them, and all of that. So be sure to check out episode 5 on Rehab My Loco.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
But I do have it here on my in a Blunami, so I'm screen recording my phone here, and I of course remap and move things around so you can kind of see on the list up on the screen behind me somewhere. I've got my headlight on, I've got the headlight dimmer because we're sitting still, and I've got my brake set. But let's go ahead and start the locomotive. So we'll go ahead and hit the RPM plus so that it fires it up, and that's the RPM plus from off to on.
Right.
And then you can also manually increase the diesel engine RPMs as you go using the function buttons.
Right.
And then, of course, what you're seeing on the screen here, for those of you watching on video, is the first 14 functions on the screenshot of the Blunami app. So, and they're all the functions are labeled, so you can see which functions are what. You don't have to remember function 10 does this, function 12 does that, function 14 does that. And then the difficult part is remembering how to access that on our DCC system.
Right.
And so, but here at the top you can see, for those of you watching on video again, you got 0 through 14, and then when I click 15 to 28, you can see the rest of the functions. And you'll notice that I've actually labeled the function output lights, as I've got the front class lights, rear class lights, front number boards, which are on right now, and you can tell they're on, but they're dimmed, which would be prototypical. They're not going to be as bright as a bright headlight. So when I turn on the headlight, and I know with the cameras where they're at, it's kind of difficult to see, but I'll shoot some B-roll and put it in there so we can see it. But when you turn on the number boards, you've got that, and the class lights, it really does set it apart. Now it doesn't look like a traditional Athearn RTR. Now you've got yourself a standout model.
It's beautiful.
And weathering is not difficult. It really just takes just a little bit of time, and I did a combination of airbrush and oil paint weathering. And it turned out great. I'm pretty happy with the results.
Yeah, that's the way they look, man. The blue still shows through on them, and it always did, but they always look great when they were a little bit dirty.
Yep. But of course, because I have to.
Oh, yeah.
You got to blow the horn, right?
That's right. RS3L, Leslie, Mopac.
So, But anyway, so you can see all of this video in our YouTube channel on Rehab My Loco. It's a 5-video set, and I'm actually contemplating doing another one, but this time we'll do steam engines and should kind of show you how they come apart. But there's such a wide variety of different steam engines, we got to try to figure out which one is the best one. So let's go ahead and shut it down. Which one's the best one to use as a rehab?
Yeah, I know.
So
4014.
Yeah, right. Well, you got the Broadway Limited.
Oh my God, that'd be
you
huge.
got a bunch of those locomotives. They do great models. They just sound
do.
system leaves a little to be desired.
Yes.
And of course,
That'd be a great one. That'd be a great one to retrofit.
Yeah. Well, we just did the one where we did the video installation on their Stealth Series Berkshire.
Yep.
But this was because of the taking this all the way down, adding detail parts. May have to find a different candidate than that.
Yeah,
because that'll be the trade show model.
Yeah, something a little bit. Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see what I got.
Yep.
So anyway, with that's kind of finishes our projects. And so we've actually been hiding in the wings here a special guest that we're going to bring on right now. This is Wes from Just Trains out in Concord, California. He's a hobby store he's the third owner that I've been aware of. And he's taking over and carrying on a great legacy with the train store. So Wes, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, happy to have you. So tell us a little bit about Just Trains and what you guys do out there.
So pretty much going on 40 plus years. Like you said, I am the third owner. Joan Saunders was the first. Back in the day, they called it Rara Avis, rare bird, and separated from her husband, kept the name, and just started out with G Scale, and then it just snowballed from there. And she ended up moving into our previous location. We were the longest tenant in that complex.
Oh, wow.
And people were calling and asking, "Oh, do you sell birds?" Like, no. Do you rent cars? No, just trains. And so she says, to heck with it. And that's how the name stuck. And we've been with that forever. So
that's nice.
But we are a full service store. We're not as big as we used to be. We were 3,200 square feet. Had a big, beautiful layout in the store that would rival most train stores, train clubs. It was massive. Was it TGM, TSG Multimedia?
Oh, yeah.
Right at the end, got out there. We did a recording of it literally 2 days before we got on there with sawzalls and chainsaws, and yeah, it was heartbreaking. And we had just finished redoing the back loop and putting in scenery, and it was amazing. So that's a really good thing. It's out over there on his website, on YouTube. Great video. We had a good time filming it. But now we're in a smaller location, but I have to say it's a nicer location. We're half the size we used to be, but I don't have an oil finery across the street. I don't have the city water treatment plant on the other side of the creek or the asphalt plant.
Yep.
It's an amazing aroma we don't miss. So now we're centrally located in town. We're not in this big voided area, and we're getting people, the Toyota dealership, the Ford dealership, and all these people are going like, "I didn't know you existed. Wait a minute. We've had a train store in Concord forever." I'm like, "Yep." So now our foot traffic has increased, and it's been an amazing adventure, because I worked for Jim, the previous owner, as his manager 3 years prior to buying.
Okay.
And he finally decided it was time. His wife had retired, and they moved up to Bend, Oregon, and bought a beautiful home, and they're enjoying retirement, and I'm down here making it work.
Nice. Well, I know I've been out to the old location a few different times. I've been out there after the Bay Area RPM, where we'll do a presentation on Saturday night, and that was under Jim's leadership. And then I had been out to the open house a couple of times under Joan's watchful eye as well. So that was always fun. What's funny about Joan is I actually still keep in touch with her every now and then. We'll text back and forth, usually trash talking hockey, but the little Sharkies haven't been what they used to be, and so I haven't heard much from her in a while.
Yeah, my daughter's into the Sharks, and she is constantly seeing her at the dinner table, flipping the phone, going, and you see her like, oh, and then she did a little happy dance because she knows that, they made a score.
That's awesome. But that old layout was actually pretty good, and John did a good job. I actually watched that video when it came out. I watched John's TSG multimedia video, and we've done some stuff with them as well.
Yeah.
He did a great job highlighting the layout and showing the store and everything. So the good news is while you've had, you got a smaller size, you still have the same passion and the same customer service.
Yep.
Oh yeah. We have a full-time repair person in shop now that does our DCC install. We've got an intern in here learning how to do repairs as well. We work with Engine House Electric Trains and Gridley for all the pre-war, post-war stuff.
Okay.
Scott Douglas, great guy. So we stay in touch with a lot of the owners. I know, sad we've lost a couple stores over the last couple years. Pogies has gone in Roanerd Park, and AC Euro Trains in Stockton. They finally closed just a couple months ago. So, I mean, it's just me and the train shop down in Santa Clara right now.
Right. Now, those are the two big ones right there in the Bay Area. And, so, it's an unfortunate situation, but I know that the rent out there's got to be, not cheap, so that's why we want to always try to work to support the stores. We want to make sure to support the good retailers that keep the product in store, especially the staples, sound decoders, couplers, paints, glues, all that stuff. We want to make sure to support those guys so they can stick around, because when you go online, it's difficult to support the local guy, because it kind of leads to their demise if you're buying everything online and then coming in for a couple of pieces of plastic or paint, and then
a pack of micro brushes
or 148s. There's just that one. And we carry most of the magazines. I have a phenomenal used book collection. We do a lot of trading and selling used product.
Okay.
So I do quite a bit of that. Every day we get a phone call or two, people bringing stuff in, and that's been kind of the basis of the industry ever since COVID. We've, the slowdown in product and stuff, and I've noticed, we've had a little trouble the last 4 or 5 months or so getting some product and stuff in, but the good used inventory it's worth it. And having 2 repair guys in the shop, boy, they can knock out clean repair lube and get them out on the shelf, very quickly.
That's good. And and you guys aren't that far away from one of my favorite clubs to visit. I don't know, you may already know who I'm talking about, the Carquinez group, the Oddfellows Hall. There you go.
Yeah, I have my Just Trains apron on, but when I'm over there running and doing stuff, I've got all my tools and everything in my pockets and stuff, and I just leave the name tag on there. I've been a member for a couple years, and I work hand in hand with those. Ron Leamer, the current president, we have a great relationship with him. The previous one, Dave Tadiosi.
Dave, yep, I know Dave.
Oh, Dave was amazing. He really helped the club go, and he took an idea that I had. We used to do at the old store when we had the layout. We had these young kids that would just look and, they couldn't get to the clubs. It was kind of hard. We had that big layout. So Wednesday mornings, these kids would show up at 9:00 and they would stay for a couple hours. And we were teaching them how to clean their locomotives, how to clean the track. How do you swap out a coupler, and 3 of those young men have moved on to being full-fledged members at the club, and through their junior engineering days, and now they're full members. And it was pretty awesome.
That's fantastic. It's interesting. I always hear people saying, the hobby's dying. We got to get youth. They're there. They're certainly there. I mean, we got to work to grow that. But a lot of these guys, the younger group, they're always living online. They live through their cell phones, and they live through YouTube and all that. And that's part of why we do.
Having social media is so important.
Absolutely.
I had a little TikTok channel that I used to record my stuff running. I had 1,200 followers without even doing anything. And they were 30-minute shorts of me just running random stuff. And I had 1 million views.
Wow. Yeah.
They were, they thought it was, I haven't done anything with it in a short minute, but we are working on some content for our YouTube channel and basics like how do you get into the hobby? You know, like when you get into it, like my three main things: how much time do you have, how much space do you have, and how much money do you have? And I help channel those people, you know, because I'm not the type of store owner that's like, oh, hey, there's a newbie walking into the store, $1,000 out of them.
Right.
Return customers, because we get them started right, make them think critically about what they're doing with their layout. Are they going old school DC? Are they going to go DCC? And the biggest problem, and I am so guilty of this, I started when I got back into the hobby. I used to do post-war Lionel for years.
Okay.
So big, couldn't do it. I ended up moving here out to California, and I needed to limit my space. So I went in scale, and I went buck wild. I was buying cattle cars. I was buying tanker cars. I was buying steam, different eras. I mean, I was all over the place, and I overgot track, couldn't figure it out. It was a nightmare. And then I got into the store, and I'm like, all right, time to channel back. I'm going to switch over to HO because, you know, the vision got a little bad and in was a little too small. But I was able to take those mistakes in scale, and now I've curated what I do, and it is passenger service, 1960s to Civil War era, and that's it. I only do passenger service. And
Okay.
Specific railroads, and so I've curated that, and I've passed that on to our customers and going, it's like, okay, you know, this hobby is so vast, you could very easily overwhelm yourself if you're not careful. So these are the things that I give these spiels to people every day. It's time to put that out there to the greater people. It's like, you know, hey, you're wanting to get into the hobby, take it slow and steady, because a lot of these guys come barreling in and they're like, I want to do this and that, and they're just overwhelming themselves, and then 6 months later they burned themselves out. They're overwhelmed because there's so much out there.
Yep.
And so yeah, that's kind of where we're headed with, you know, these people are asking the questions, so it's not just one in the store. It's got to be 5 more out there in the world, you know, that are trying to figure out how to get in the hobby. Best ways to do it without breaking the bank, and that's the good customer service. Keeps everybody coming back to us because we give the advice freely. We're willing to sit down and have that conversation with you, and we're asking your dreams and your hopes of what you want to do in the hobby, not a, hey, that's a dollar sign, let's get as much as we can, because I would rather have a repeat customer for 10 years versus that one customer who came in and only spent $1,000. I'd like to be able to get that $1,000 over a period of time. So that's where it's at. It's the customer service, smiling, getting them in here and keep him coming back. You know, that's it, retaining the customers. And you were talking about the young guys. The other day, I was standing with Dave Tadiosin at the club. We were in the workroom, and he just looks at me and he's like, I would never have seen anywhere in a hobby where, you know, in a club setting, there were 5 people under the age of 18 sitting at the table.
Oh, wow.
At least 4 or 5 35 to 20-year-olds sitting there. They're all talking. They're all engaged. And he says, I would never thought that we would have this group of young generation sitting here talking about the hobby, because, you know, it's usually thought of as an old man hobby.
Right.
It's not. The younger people are there, and it's spectacular. I'm glad that the club has made the effort to bring the young people into the store and have them there and into the club, because then we can project out and go, okay, here's the European train enthusiast, here's Carquinez Model Railroad Society, you know, here's Golden State Model Railroad. Like, we've got so many clubs in a 50-mile radius. I mean, you can't shake a stick without hitting a depot and a train club, which is awesome.
Yeah. That's awesome. What's interesting is this conversation I was talking about yesterday or whatever recently online with the model railroad people. We were talking about the youth, because everybody thinks, you know, the old school thought of train of thought was always get the 4x8 and do the loops and let them run around. But you do loop a few times, you're like, yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
All right, what else is there to do?
Yeah.
You know, but if you start them off small with a small switching layout, like you said, you can start them off small, plant that seed, give them get them an engine, get them a couple of cars, a little bit of track, an industry, or something like that, and they can put that on top of their bookshelf in their own room, even pre-graduation out of high school. Gives them something to start with, and especially now with Blunami, because how many kids are walking around with these things in their hands anymore? Right. So Blunami really
at the clubs we run Y throttle and other stuff on our phones. I'm over there running it. All my locomotives, I have them all in my roster. They're curated. I'm running from my phone. I mean, it is an amazing crossover, because these youngsters are now going like, oh, if I can run it at a club, can I run this at home? And like, actually you can.
Yep.
And that's where we definitely talk about the Blunami, because I had an old Broadway Limited Penzi T1. The decoder smoke unit just toasted. So I was like, all right, this when you first got him out. And I'm like, you know what? Let's see what we can do. And sat down with the installer at the time, and he says, all right, get me the parts. So I got it in there, and the previous owner had leaded, and I mean leaded, like literally molded lead into the boiler, and he sent the traction tires off, all of the drivers off, and had them milled. So there's traction tires in every part of the duplex, and your pickups or in your tenders, your front, wired it amazing. I had a Trix Big Boy and about 70 cars trying to go up the helix. She stalled out. I backed my T1 down there, and she pulled all of them and the Big Boy up a 3% grade in the helix all the way to the top, and it just Blunami with that in there. Because I can now take it to a DC club, I can take it to my friend's DC layout, and I'm running all the functions and everything.
Yep.
The live steamers are actually getting a hold of the 4400s with the Blunamis, so they can program it and set up. I've got a customer come in Saturday to pick up some of them, and I'm excited to see what they're going to be doing with these. The kids, Legos. They heard that they could do the Blunami with their Lego trains, so now they're coming in and buying them. And it's mostly steam. There's always that big gap between diesel guys and steam guys. Most of the youngsters I see today are diesel guys, but we still got that little group of the youngsters that just love steam. And I'm a steam guy. I love steam. But the Blunami is a game changer for just, especially some of the older clubs that haven't gone DCC, which we have a couple left in the area. This is a nice, easy, gentle way of getting them into the DCC scene without breaking the bank.
Correct.
Especially with DC power, a lot of the older guys like the DC power too. They can use Blunami without changing anything on their layout. All they got to do is download the app and install a decoder, and they're running trains.
And that's where I was going to talk about, because it's really great for those beginners, those new guys coming into the hobby, because they can power their layout. They don't need to spend $200-$400 on a DCC system. They can buy the locomotive they want, put the decoder in it, and power it up with honestly, they can go to the local Walmart and get a wall wart, one of those little transformers for a cell phone charger. Cut the plug off and power the layout with it.
Right.
That's $12.
Yep. Right. Free app, $12. Get your locomotive, your freight cars, and you're running trains.
Exactly. And then, like you said, they can go to the club if they want to run it with somebody else's models. They just grab the DCC throttle and run, and they're good to go. Or they have all Blunami, and they just run them through the app. It's really quick and easy.
Oh, yeah. A lot of folks have found it and the install, it's just as easy to install that, just like you would being a regular, just any regular decoder.
Right.
Yep, absolutely. There's virtually no difference.
No, it's and with the all the different board styles we have, we've made it pretty much fit just any interface. And like you guys said, it'll fit just any locomotive. And we continue to expand that with the latest, the Blunami 1100 brought N-scale into the fold, and eventually I'll get some switch engines done. But small HO scale engines, those are perfect candidates for Blunami 1100 as well, HO. But mainly N-scale, those guys are just jumping for joy right now.
Oh yeah,
we can't keep them in stock. So.
Yeah, they're already almost sold out.
Yes,
it's crazy.
I have not seen any. None of my N-scalers have made the jump to Blunami yet. Most of my guys are running Kato, so they're they're fighting that channel space down the inside. But it's amazing how circuitry and how small this stuff is getting.
Yep.
It's only a matter of time.
Absolutely. Well, Wes, where can we find you guys at now? So, like I said, I know you moved, and so where can we find you, and where can people in the Bay Area, certainly, and anybody traveling through the area, of course, can check it out?
We're at 1170 Burnett Avenue, Suite L, and we are literally one exit right off of 680, where we call it the East Bay, just over the hills from Berkeley. Yeah, we're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 5. We stay late on Fridays till 7. My in-house repair guys here Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 2 to 5. So we can pretty much tackle any repairs. I mean, it doesn't matter. We'll do our best. If we can't get it, we've got people that we know we can send stuff to. Concord, just right off the main drag. I mean, it's just easy peasy.
Yeah, it was like I said, it's a beautiful area, and I will throw some little comment your way. You're a little copycat on the street address there, because we're on Burnett Drive here in Durango, and now you're on Burnett Drive. What is it, Burnett Street or Road?
We're Burnett Avenue.
Avenue. Okay. Well, you got a little variation there, but
still got the key word in there though.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you could.
Like our old store, you couldn't. I mean, there were no like these little tiny windows, and you kind of didn't have it. Here, I mean, I'm looking right outside, and I've got trees and grass and all this. The old store, they had killed the grass, and
Oh yeah.
they cut down the big oak trees in the front because of the power lines.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
We lost all those great big oak trees out
Oh
there.
wow.
And the aspen trees that we had in the little grass area in the front, new complex owners bought it, and they did some upgrade. The paint job was amazing, but they didn't want to do anything with the landscaping. So it just all kind of went, it's like, it's not it lost its curb appeal. And
Sure.
and it was sad. I get where the company was coming from, but it was pretty steep increase in rent. We just couldn't make it work. It just wasn't in the books, but it was worth it moving to this location, even though we just had some issues with the roofing, and that was a whole nother oh Lord.
Yeah, that was difficult. I was so sad. I was so sorry for you on that.
Yeah, it caught us off guard, because it wasn't, when I left at 5:30 to go home or go to the club and run, there was some drips and stuff, but they had just left the complete roof open, plywood just exposed, and then all the 2x2 holes where the vents for venting, that was just open. And it was the first rain season of the season here in California, and it was 2 inches in a matter of like 45 minutes, and we had standing water everywhere. Look here, it's like all this tile that's above us, all this has been replaced, because water everywhere. And we're on the low side of the building where the drain is, so all of that water just puddled and pooled right in here. So, but yeah, great insurance company, they stepped in. The ownership did well. The roofing company, immediately, the owner was here a day after it happened. Insurance company been as amazing. We've no issues. So just waiting for payout, and that'll keep us running for another, get us through the lean months here in the summer, and ready for another Christmas.
There we go. Well then, what's the website to get a hold of you guys?
So it's just-trains.com.
Okay. So pretty easy to find them. So if any of you guys are traveling out to the Bay Area, be sure to check them out and check out their SoundTraxx inventory that we just sent a big order to you. So that should be showing up anytime now.
Long time a coming. Everybody's jumping for their everybody needs their keep alives.
Yeah.
Getting a little dirty, so let's get those keep alives installed.
Current keepers. You got to say it right. It's the current keepers.
Current keepers.
Right.
I mean, I won't get into the side story, but that was a term we had used for years, and then through some weird stuff, it's not ours anymore. I'll leave it at that. But anyway, so we use the term current keeper. But yeah, that's great. We got that out to you, so you'll be seeing that pretty good. So we appreciate your time coming in. And hopefully it's helpful for you. And guys, go out and visit them. They've got a great store, great people. We want to make sure we keep these stores going, so be sure to check them out.
All right.
So with that, I think we're pretty much getting to the close of the show today. Wanted to talk about, I think this is going to post right before the holidays.
Right.
So just wanted to remind everybody that for the holidays, for Christmas, we're going to be closed on December 24th, which is Christmas Eve. Of course, Christmas. And then we're actually going to take the 26th off as well.
Oh, wow.
To have a nice big long weekend for everybody to spend time with family and friends for the holiday. And then we'll be back Monday the 29th. And then the next closure, of course, is New Year's Day. I mean, you guys know we're big late night party animals, and so we got to have the morning to recover from the party animal, the night, the drunken stupor, and all.
Yeah, for me, it'll be watching football games more than likely.
Yeah, I know.
The Illini, Illinois in a bowl game again, 2 years in a row. I mean, that hasn't happened in years.
But anyway, so if you do need some help during that time, send us an email to support@soundtraxx.com, or if you're looking to purchase anything, the website will be open. You can get your tumbler and your little fluffy dog. This is the brown one, so we'll say this is a model of Samantha. But it's got the white face, so maybe it's a hybrid.
Yeah, it's what happened if Samantha and Isla decided to eat Samantha or something.
There you go. But anyway, these will be available on our website. You can shop in there, but we won't be shipping, obviously, between the 24th and the 29th. So if you do put an order, we'll get them out as fast as we can. Beyond that, if you need support, email our website or email us, support@soundtraxx.com. Check out the documents if you need help immediately. We do have user's guides on our website. You can find under support and then go down to documentation. That'll pull out the manuals. And the user's guide, make sure I emphasize the user's guide, because the user's guide are there to help explain how all the features of our decoders work. So be sure to check that out, especially if you're using any third-party programs to do your CV adjustments. Just go read how we tell you the feature works. Most of that's covered in Chapter 1.
Right.
And then the rest of the chapters explain how to modify or change the behavior. So a lot of that information can be found, but if you do get stuck or need help, shoot us an email and we'll get back to you as soon as we're back in the office.
Right, and the technical references, the companies and that works really well too for you to find, like George is saying, find your spot. If you're using one of those Decoder Pro or whatever, you find that CV you're working on, go to the technical reference. It's accompanies the user's guide, and then, like George said, you could expand and go to the user's guide as well. Both of them work hand in hand, and they're both available there under resources.
But the user's guide explains it. The technical reference just shows the CV bit structure.
Right.
So if you don't already know what the CV does,
it gives you a brief description on it, and it does give you. Both of them are very well done, and I like them both because, like I said, they work hand in hand, and it tells you the related CVs to it. And like you're saying, if you're doing that, then. The other thing I love about the thing, and I want to explain that to people too, is the table of contents. The guys have the table of contents that's indexed, so you don't have to scroll all the way through it. You can just go to the table of contents on the user guide and just click on that. It'll take you right to that part of the book.
Yep,
so,
absolutely.
The manual.
So anyway, we hope everybody has a great Christmas and happy holiday season from all of us here at SoundTraxx. Again, we thank you for all the support that you've given us over the years. You've helped us make make our year successful, and certainly help make us not have to work at a real job. We get to sit here and sell model trains.
It's like Christmas every day. You know?
There you go.
And we really appreciate our customers, and we're here for you guys. And so we wish you all a happy holiday season.
Mm-hmm. So with that, I think we'll go ahead and sign out. So guys, this has been the SoundTraxx Soundbites. This is Train Talk from Milepost 141. This is podcast number 35, which is season 2, episode 22. So we've been posting these just about every 2 weeks.
Yep.
So it's amazing how time flies.
It is. I mean, it's almost a new year. I mean, it's just flown by.
It'll be here in a week or so from the time that this posts.
So can we say we'll see you next year?
We'll see you next year.
We'll see you next year, folks.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Bye now.